very good morning. It's day 4 of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix here at Shermanoff at Wrocław. I'm here, world champion Sebastian Carver. What's happening?
Hi. We have cancelled the day due to the bad weather coming. On the satellite pictures we have already thunderstorms on the border with Czech Republic and Germany, and the model confirms that this is the situation it has predicted, and the thunderstorm should be here at about 2 p.m. So we basically don't have enough time to make a proper task. Even more, at this moment you will not find any thermals. So the thermals will start, and immediately after this we will have maybe 1 hour later a thunderstorm. It's just not enough time to make a proper task. So in exchange, we will have some sort of a game. We will copy the event from Dubai, from World Air Games, and we will make match races, which are basically one-on-one races and a very short task, 18 kilometers task. We will start at 600 meters, so it will give enough energy for these gliders to complete it, and the winner will go and will complete it semi-finals and then in finals.
Right, so it's a knockout situation, and you've actually competed in this. It's parallel racing, is it?
Yes, it's parallel racing, and it was designed especially for Dubai because we had very limited space there, and it turned out to be very successful and very spectacular race. So I would like to see this kind of races over the shore in Dubai, because we had a fantastic skyline of skyscrapers there, and it would be very nice show, but unfortunately we had a place for this in the desert. Not many people were to see it, but on the internet you could follow the race as well.
Right, and how long do we think each race will last?
It'll be around 6 minutes, maybe less, because in this moment, if there is one thermal on the way that they can just use energy and going straight, it will accelerate these gliders to above 200 kilometers an hour. Wow. And so 18 kilometers, it should be around 6 minutes, maybe 5 minutes.
Wow, we look forward to that. It's going to be live on the live stream with full analysis and commentary here from Shermanoff. Sebastian Carver, I'm sure you need to get ready. Thank you very much.
We will probably start in about 20 to 30 minutes.
Wow, that is quick.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. And a very good morning. Welcome to the studio here in Shermanoff. It is the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix day number 4, and we've got a big change to the events of the day. What was going to be the 4th task with over 400 kilometers has changed format. We've got big storms heading in from the Czech Republic border, which means that by race time this afternoon we could be having big problems, big thunderstorms, big downpours, and big issues with the sky yet again. So we've changed the format, and we've got all the pilots on the grid right now. We're going into a special event. We're going to be doing parallel racing. So instead of a 4-hour event, we're going to have, which is going to be each race about 6 minutes. It's going to be a knockout race. This was first done in Dubai at the World Air Games in 2015. 2 gliders side by side at the start line. They give each other the thumbs up and off they go. Down to the first turn point, turn, back to a second turn point, turn, back to the first turn point again, and then to the finish line. It's looking like it's going to be about 18 kilometers race. Should take about 6 minutes. When it was first run in Dubai, it was 24 kilometers at the World Air Games 2015. Here, it's a shorter race. It's going to be intense. We've got the world champion is going to be racing against the current number 2 from the overnight standings. We're not quite sure who's racing first yet, but if we get the big screen up for you, we'll see what we've got, what information we've got for you on the screen right now. It looks like the first race is going to be Sebastian Carver against Herman Lechter. Now, have we started the race already? Is this a race? No, we're just getting up to the tour points. So what we need to do is get them up to 600 meters, and they're going to have to be side by side and get ready for the start. So you can see there, if we just zoom out a little bit, we should see the start line of this race. It was only decided about an hour ago when they're going to be going into that format. So there we go, in the middle, that's the airfield where we are. Down to the left, that green panel, that is the 3rd turn point. Over to the right on the east, the 2nd turn point, and it's called Haskell Lek. So here's what we're going to be doing. Normally, these races are all done with full water. If you're not sure about Grand Prix racing, I'll tell you what that means. These gliders have their wings full of water to give them weight, to give them power, flying down through the track. Normally, before they land at the end of a task, at the end of a big race, all the water needs to be released, so they've got less weight when they land. The thing with today, with the knockout championships, it's going to be the first round, then the semi-final, then the quarter-final, then the semi-final, and then the final. And each time they have to go with whatever water they've got left. So on landing, it's all about how much water you release from the wings going into your second race. Now, Sebastian Carver is going to be in the first race against the overnight second place Herman Luchter. And Sebastian has competed in this event before. Just to explain a little bit more about what's happening, it's two gliders side by side. In aviation, you never really want people side by side in aircraft. The danger is there, they must keep a safe distance, but they are going to be racing next to each other, just like a two-person track race. It's going to be quick, it's going to be fast, it's going to be over 200 kilometers an hour, and it's going to be starting from about 600 meters, flying down through the track. In the cockpit now with Herman, who's going to be racing against world champion Sebastian Carver. He's currently at 618 meters, doing 124 kilometers an hour with a climb rate of 2.4 meters, which is good. He's climbing up there now. The more altitude you've got, the more energy you've got. And on the screen, you can see both pilots. Call sign Papa Sebastian Carver. Call sign 29er Herman Luchter from Germany. Sebastian Carver from Poland. It's race day. It's going to be high action and it's going to be quick action too. We've got Papa against 29er. We've got Golf Oscar Lima against Delta Tango. We've got Alfa Romeo against Whiskey India November. And we've got 29 Lima against Oscar Golf. That's going to be the first championship. The winner of each of those races goes through to the quarterfinal, and then the semi-final, and then we have our winner of the day. Not quite sure what the prize is going to be, but I'm sure it's going to be good fun. So this is all extra. It's beyond the program of what we had for the Sailplane Grand Prix. It's an extra event put together at the last minute this morning in the team briefing at 9 o'clock and put together for this race, which is happening right now. Very good morning to you if you're watching around the world on the live stream. My name's Regan Tetlow. We're here in the studio in Shermanoff for the fourth day of the Sailplane Grand Prix, brought to you by the FAI with our extra event here with this knockout tournament, parallel racing. It looks like they're both heading to the start line. Is this going to be it? Is this going to be the start of the race? We've got Herman at 684 meters. We've got Sebastian at 661. They're through. Here we go. The race is on. If you're watching the live stream, you can see on the screen these two gliders side by side. And at the moment, slightly in the lead is Herman Luchter, Germany, by just a few centimetres. Papa, here's what we've got that side view there. Look, it's almost neck and neck, as it should be as well. 658 metres for Germany. 624 metres, Sebastian Carver. It's a dash, a championships of pure speed, not much tactic involved. Off they go to the east for the first turn point, and then they're going to turn around and do a big looping turn. They want to keep the turn as tight as possible. And they're both turning the same direction as well. So the easiest turn would to be a complete 180 loop, which would leave them upside down, of course. So they're going to do a carving turn to bring them back round. And they're almost there to the first turn now, halfway there. In fact, they're about to hit this first turn. This is a big quick race. In the lead, 29er just in front of Papa Sebastian Carver, coming up to the first turn. Let's see how they do this turn now. Sebastian was talking about the technique in the team briefing only half an hour ago. And here we go. Through the first turn point. And here comes the turn. Papa Sebastian Carver braking to the right. 29er Herman braking to the left. The turn technique is going to make the big difference. And look, here we go. Sebastian Carver's made a big turn there, and he's through and he's back on. He took a big lead on his right hand turn compared to 29er Herman Luchter on his left-hand turn, and that's where the race is going to be won, I think, on the turn technique. There's not much in it down the straights. Here we are, halfway back now to the start point and the second turn, and you can see they were neck and neck through that first straight. It's the turn which is going to be the test of these pilots. Now, not many people compete in this discipline. It was brought to the fore in 2015 in Dubai for the World Air Games. Sebastian Carver was there competing. Now, we've got him in the front as well. We're in the cockpit here in the studio with Herman Lugner, 485 meters. So remember, normally in a race of 4 hours, they're looking for thermals to gain height. This race, it's start and go, go, go. Losing altitude at all time. Herman Lugner now at minus 1.5 meters a second. Sebastian Carver minus 2 meters a second. And through the second turn, Sebastian Carver now is going to be turning to the left, I think, and Herman is going to be turning to the right. The world champion has took that lead. Let's see the turn now. They're through that turn point. We should be seeing, actually that's halfway through. We're not halfway to this next turn point, actually. Here we go. Coming up to the second turn point now. It's hard and fast action to keep your eyes on. Sebastian Carver, distance to turn 1.3 kilometers. Herman Lugner, distance to turn 1.8 kilometers. So there's 0.4 of a distance in it now. It's only going to be a 6-minute race maximum. We're kind of almost halfway through. Sebastian Carver, distance to turn half a kilometer. Herman is now half a kilometer in the trail. So it looks like, as you would expect, in the lead right now, Sebastian Carver, call sign Papa, in the lead. Coming up to Brahma, turn number 2 of this race. 3 turns in it, and then through the finish line. And what an amazing finish it's going to be. So Papa now turning left. Here comes his turn. Wow, a sharp turn as well. It looks like he's downwind. He's accelerating through 356 kilometers an hour against Herman Lugner's 275 kilometers an hour. Incredible speed. Pulling away match racing, 18 kilometers, not against the Dubai 24 kilometers. The shortest race we've ever seen here. 18-kilometer race, almost halfway through as we bizzed on down to the next and the final turn point. Sebastian Carver, 154 kilometers an hour. Herman Lugner, 155 kilometers an hour. Sebastian with a descent of 0.23 meters per second. We're in the cockpit now of the German. Dashing down, and we're in the cockpit now of Sebastian. Next turn point, 3 kilometers away. And that's the final turn of this race. Sebastian Carver, 3 kilometers away from the final turn of the race, of an 18-kilometer race. A view from above now. Let's see if we can see the turn point. We've got next turn point for Sebastian Carver at 2.5. It says on the screen that Herman's finished, but I don't think that's, I think that's a false reference on the system. They've not finished yet. They've got one more turn to go, so there's just a software glitch there. But bigly in the lead, we have Sebastian Carver, 168 kilometers an hour, heading for that final turn point. It's a hot day outside. It's a hot day here in the studio too. On the grid, waiting and up in the air, Bogdan Doritzor, number 29 Lima, is going to be racing against Oscar Rolf Gertzman. That's probably going to be our next race, I think. But in the meantime, we're back to this task now, up to the final turn point. Sebastian Carver is about to do his final turn. There he goes through that final turn point. Needs to bring it round and head for the finish line. 2.9. Herman Lugner behind him, almost a kilometer behind now. Sebastian Carver is going to turn and head back for that finish line. Here he is now heading down the track. Sebastian Carver, 82.95, accelerating 100 kilometers an hour, 102, 120 kilometers an hour, only at 165 meters. He's only got 1 kilometer to go to finish the race, accelerating through. Sebastian Carver, world champion, 208 kilometers an hour, 154 meters above the ground, approaching the target, being chased and accelerating as well now. now Herman Lichter is chasing his tail, but it's too late. Let's get the view of Sebastian Carver heading to that race and finish line. Here he is, 150 meters above the ground, 200 kilometers an hour, about to take the first win of the day through the green finish virtual line. World champion Sebastian Carver takes the first win of the day. Wow. Incredible race that was indeed. Herman tried hard, he had a good fight at the beginning, but just wasn't good enough to beat the world champion. We'll be back live in the studio with the second race in about 2 minutes' time. And welcome back to the studio. We've had the first race of the day, an incredible race from the German and the Polish world champion, and Sebastian Carver took the win. Back to the action now. We're going to start the next race. We've got Oscar Golf, Rolf Gertzman from Germany against Bogdan Dorecko from Poland. Are we through? Has the race started? Just checking the screen now. We have started the race. Let's get above and see how we're doing. As we saw in the first race, it's almost neck and neck, as you would expect. Oscar Golf, 692 metres. They are starting from 600 metres with the toll plane. That's when they get the release. And they've got them get themselves side by side before they actually pass the start line. So it's not easy. Remember, the gliders, no engines. So it's all about a bit of teamwork to begin with, but no teamwork now. It's game on. 2-9 Lima, Bogdan from Poland has took an early lead at 580 metres, 152 kilometres an hour, sink rate of minus 2.8. He's there at that first turn point. He takes a big, sharp right-hand turn, and Oscar Golf, Rolf Gertzman, takes a big, sharp left-hand turn. It's just like a swim relay. It's how good the turn can be. You know, when you see people swimming and you see the underwater camera action, how they do that turn and push off, how points and meters can be gained with a good turn. It's the same here with these guys. An 18-kilometer race, and on that turn, 2-9er Bogdan has just lost a little bit of his advantage. He's still in the lead. He's got an average speed of 7.8 kilometers an hour. But there on the left, we see now in the lead, 2-9 Lima, Bogdan Dorecko, 495 meters, just passed down below 500 meters. During this race, these 18 kilometers, sinking all the time, not using any thermal activity. There go, passing through the middle, heading towards his second turn point. Oscar Golf is closing on him though. The speeds, Bogdan's at 190 kilometers an hour. Rolf is at 206 kilometers an hour. So he's slowly pulling it back. It's all about the turn. This turn is going to be the difference. You can see there, turn number 2. It's waypoint 3 Brammer here at Schmermenhof. And it's the 4th day of the Sailplane Grand Prix, but we don't have the normal race of 400 kilometers. We've got the fast parallel side-by-side race of 18 kilometers. First trialled at the World Air Games in Dubai in 2015. Here now again with live action. Oscar Golf has took an early lead now as we get to this second turn point. He's in front of 29 Lima. This turn is going to be where the championship is made. 29 Lima got the better turn on the first waypoint. Is he going to pull back this lead now with this turn he's doing here? Oscar Golf braking to the right, 29 Lima braking to the left, and it looks like he has got the better turn. It looks like he's back in the lead again. Oscar Golf managed to pull it back on the straight, but not on the turn. Let's zoom in a little bit and get a little bit closer to the action. Oscar Golf now diving down at 400 kilometers an hour, Bogdan at 192 kilometers an hour. So that turn, which we couldn't quite see from here, but he's probably pulled up quite high and then done a big diving turn right back down again. Here we go, 29 Lima, Oscar Golf almost neck and neck, heading to the third and final turn. And it seems, if I can just get the information on screen on the right hand side from our second pilot from 29 Lima, I've got Oscar Golf on the left. If I can get 29 Lima on the right, there we go, we've got it now, side by side scores. Speeds 154 from Bogdan. Speeds, Rolf is at 199. He looks like he's got the lead. He is taking it as well now. As we saw on the other leg, Oscar Golf, the German, has got the advantage on the straight, but 29 Lima has got the advantage on the turn. There's one more turn to go, and it's almost neck and neck, sinking down now to 270 meters above the ground with one more turn to go before they head back here to the airfield and the finish line. It's gliders, it's live action, it's fast. These machines can travel easily in excess of 300 kilometers an hour, and we're heading now to the final turn of this second race. We have 8 competitors, 4 races. The first one going through already was world champion Sebastian Carver. He is through to the semi-final. We're going to get our second semi-finalist from this race now. Into that final turn, Oscar Golf, Germany versus 29 Lima, Poland. This is the final turn, braking hard to the left, Oscar Golf, and braking to the right, 29 Lima. It's going to be neck and neck almost as we get down this final finish line, this final 1 kilometer of the race. It's hard to say who's got it right now. Oh, it looks like 29 Lima is just in the lead and he's pulling away a little bit as well. Oscar Golf is pulling back with a speed, faster speed, 216 kilometers an hour against Bogdan's 191 kilometers an hour. Let's zoom in, let's get closer to the action for the finish. Let's see who's going to take it. It looks like, if we can get from above, get the above view so we can see exactly who crosses the line first. Here we go, 29 Lima who has got it in the lead. Oscar Golf is coming up on the outside. It's down to the final line. Oscar Golf seems to be just pulling ahead. It's hard to see. It's neck and neck. Here we go, 29 Lima, Oscar Golf. Oscar Golf is going to take the win. Oscar Golf crosses the line. 29 Lima right behind him. Wow. Unofficial, it looks like the German took that second race. Oscar Golf just beating 29 Lima. We think, wow. We'll be back with the next race live in the studio in the next 2 minutes. And welcome back to the studio here in Shermanoff. What an intense few minutes of action we've just seen. 2 races so far. We are not bringing you the normal Sailplane Grand Prix because of the conditions. We've got thunderstorms approaching from the Czech Republic, from the border. We're going to have big storms just like we saw yesterday. So what we're doing instead is bringing you the competition that was first trialled at the World Air Games in 2015 in Dubai. Side by side, parallel racing, a dash for the line. Instead of the normal 400 kilometers, we have 24 kilometers. Well, that's what was done in Dubai. Here, we've shaved it off even more to 18 kilometers. That's what the race is going to be. Through 3 turn points, through the start line, down to the first turn point to the east, around there, back up, past the middle, up to the turn point to the west, back down to the east, turn and through the cross line. I can tell you now that officially the first race, Papa Sierra Carver took the first race against 2-9er. Second race, Oscar Golf, the German, took the race against 2-9 Lima. It was neck and neck action. We are going to go down to the screen now and have a look at the third race. We've got Golf Oscar Lima against Delta Tango. Adam Jarecki. Golf Oscar Lima from Poland races against Thomas Dull from Poland. It's Poland against Poland. That's what we're looking at. We're heading towards the start line. If you're looking at the screen, you can see that big green virtual wall. That is our start line. When you're looking at it green, you're looking at the right side. When you're looking at it red, you're looking at the back side of it. So heading down for the start line, take a breath. Are you ready? Don't miss a beat. It's only about 6 minutes per race. One more race to go after this, but heading down to the start line now. And this is a tricky little bit. They've got to try and stay side by side before they pass that start line. So Golf Oscar Lima now, half a kilometre from the start, just in the front a little bit. He needs to just hold back and let Delta Tango catch him. There we go. Looks like it's good now. Gliders, no engines. Wings full of water. Releasing some of the water to land, but not all of it because they don't get the opportunity to fill up again before the start. We are moments away from the start of the third race. It's live action. It's intense action here in Shermanoff for the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix Day 4 with parallel racing. And here we go, just heading to the start line, half a kilometre to go. Golf Oscar Lima from Poland versus Delta Tango from Poland. Side by side, good setup, ready for the race. Are you ready for it at home? I hope you are. It's intense action. I've not seen out the window anybody passing by, but I can tell you now we can see the clouds starting to build up for that storm which is heading our way. We looked at the radar about half an hour ago and we could see those dark reds and the yellows of the rain radar telling us it was on its way. Here we go. Ready to the start line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and about to pass the start line, and it is game on. Okay, on the top of your screen, Golf Oscar Lima, Poland versus Delta Tango at the bottom of the screen there, Poland, and they are off the early lead on the speed, 187 from Adam against 132 from Thomas. So it's neck and neck as we start down to this first turn point in the third race of the day in this parallel racing side-by-side glider championships knockout tournament just for today. Here we go. Delta Tango taking an early lead as we head down to that first turn point. Golf Oscar Lima, Adam is chasing. We saw in the previous race in the lead on the straight was not exactly as it went through on the turn. The turn can make a big difference. So, heading to the turn now, the first turn of the championships, Delta Tango is going to break to the right. Golf Oscar Lima is going to break to the left. And this turn could decide who takes the early lead. Neck and neck at the moment. Through the first turn. And here we go, the turn, you're going to see it now. Delta Tango, 731 metres. Golf Oscar Lima, 725 metres. It's the highest we've had so far in these championships. And looks like Golf Oscar Lima has took a good turn and took a great lead here as we move down through the second straight of this championships. Can we see the time to the next turn? Can we see the distance to it? Head there, let's get it on screen. Golf Oscar Lima powering down now at 675 meters distance left, only 13 meters, 13 kilometers, should I say. Distance left for Thomas is 14. Distance to the next turn, 4 kilometers for Adam, and distance to the next turn, 4.5 for Thomas. He's got a half-kilometer lead as we move on down through this second straight of this championships. Zooming out, let's have a look where we are. Golf Oscar Lima passing overhead now at the start of the race, but Delta Tango is chasing him from behind. He's coming up quick. We've got the speed of 215 kilometers an hour from Thomas Dull. It looks like he's chasing hard, so it looks like Thomas Dull, Delta Tango has got the advantage on the straight, and Adam Chileski, Golf Oscar Lima, has got the advantage on the turn. Heading down to our penultimate turn of the championship of this race, 2 turns out of 3, and currently in the lead, we can see it's Golf Oscar Lima and Poland Adam against Polish Thomas. But the race is on. Adam had this turn nailed. He's 1.2 kilometers away from the second turn. Thomas Dull is now only 6 kilometers away, and Adam is almost at the turn. Here comes the turn now. Adam braking to the right, and Delta Tango also braking to the right. So they both turn the same direction. I'm not quite sure the legitimacy of that, but here we go. We'll find out later when we get the results. But now chasing down, Golf Oscar Lima has got the lead from the turn. Delta Tango is just coming up. I'm sure they should have turned different directions, though. I don't think they can both turn the same direction. Anyway, we'll find out in a minute. Golf Oscar Lima heading back down the straight at 175 kilometers an hour. Thomas Dull at 198 as he comes out of his turn. It's almost neck and neck as we're about to pass overhead. Next turn, 1.8 kilometers for Thomas, 2 kilometers for Thomas, and about the same for Adam. Here comes the final turn of this race. It's hard to tell, it's hard to call. That controversial turn, though, on the last one we saw, it looked like they both went the same direction. It could be a glitch on the system, I'm not exactly sure, but heading down now over the center point, Golf Oscar Lima slightly in the lead of Delta Tango. It's neck and neck as we head down to the final turn of this race, and it is neck and neck now. Delta Tango is coming up strong, a little bit faster on this straight. You can zoom out, you can see halfway to the final turn of this championships. 360 meters above the ground, plenty of height left, plenty of height, so that's not the issue. They've got the energy to make it through. So with all this extra height, it means they can dive down to that finish line, picking up extra speed. Another tactic to be used. The second and final third turn of this race is almost upon us. Delta Tango in the lead now. He should brake to the right. Golf Oscar Lima should brake to the left. Delta Tango is through that final turn, and here comes the turn. A slight lag, of course, on this GPS system that brings us down. All right, Golf Oscar Lima has got a good turn there, and it looks like he's in the lead. So the lead of Delta Tango that we saw down the straight looks like it's been eaten up by Adam Chileski, Golf Oscar Lima. But Delta Tango, Thomas Dull is coming up strong. They're both heading down to this final line, 150 kilometers an hour. It's neck and neck. Halfway down now to the final turn, well, the final line, should I say. Let's get above them. Let's see who is in the front. We can see it is, oh, it's so close. Let's zoom in a little bit. The final line is there. Golf Oscar Lima, Delta Tango, they are side by side. There's meters between them. They are neck and neck as across the finish line. Whoa, I don't know. It's hard to call. It's hard to call as they pass through that finish line. It looked like a photo finish. How they're going to tease them apart, I have no idea. Incredible race. I hope you're enjoying this action. It's live from Shermanoff here on day 4 of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix. One more race to come in the next 2 minutes. And a warm welcome back to the studio here in Shermanoff. An intense morning of competition. We can't bring you day 4 of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix, but what we can bring you is this intense parallel side-by-side racing. We started off with 8 pilots going for the knockout. First race, Papa took the lead against 2-9er, so Papa goes forward into the semi-final. We've got we had the race of Golf Oscar Lima and Delta Tango, and it was so close at the end. Golf Oscar Lima took the win, and he goes through to the semi-final as well. And we thought we had a bad turn, but it wasn't. It was just a glitch on the system, the lag of the GPS, so that was fine. It was a good win, a good strong win. And just before that, we had 2-9 Lima against Oscar Golf, and Oscar Golf took the win. So now into the semi-final, Poland and Papa, and Golf Oscar Lima, Poland as well, and Oscar Golf from Germany into the semi-final. Let's get onto the screen and have a look at the action. We've got one more race in this knockout of Alfa Romeo, which is Gintas Zub from Lithuania, the 737 pilot, against young upcomer Dirk Windmuller with his parents here as well from Germany. So it's Lithuania versus Germany. Are we through the start line? Are we on? The start line not yet. We're just waiting. Here it comes. Oh, there we go. That's the first turn point, just heading towards this start line, probably about 15 seconds away. This is where they need to get side by side. So Dirk Windmuller from Germany, currently at 800 meters, 831 meters. It's a good start. And Gintas Zub, call sign Alfa Romeo, 835 meters. Side by side now, eye contact with each other, probably about 10 meters apart, these gliders. 10 meters apart, traveling at over 100 kilometers an hour. Looking at each other. They've got the reference on the systems, on the computer, overhead of the airfield, heading towards the start line where the race will begin. 18 kilometers, full on neck and neck power, full power for the race. 3 turns. Here we go. Here comes the start, and we are through. So it's game on. Dirk Windmuller from Germany, call sign Whiskey India November, racing against Gintas Zub from Lithuania, call sign Alfa Romeo, heading towards the first turn point and the knockout championships to find our final competitor, our final pilot who goes through to the semi-final. And we can tell you now, have we got an early lead? It doesn't look like we have. It looks like it's neck and neck. It is neck and neck. Just if there's anything, Dirk Windmuller, Germany, slightly in front. It's all about that first turn. This is what's going to make the big difference. We saw in the first 2 races that the lead that was built up on the first leg was lost on the turn. So here we go, onto that first turn. Lithuania versus Germany. We're at the first turn now. Who's going to take that psychological early lead in this 18-kilometer race? Speeds of over 200 kilometers an hour. And the turn comes with Dirk Windmuller, Germany, breaking round to the right. Alfa Romeo, Gintas Zub from Lithuania, breaking round to the left. And it seems that it's maybe Germany have got the early advantage as we head into the second straight, heading down to the second turn of this track, all the way down the west to the second turn, and then a turn back east for the final turn, and then a dash for the finish line. Wow, it's looking neck and neck as well. Great system here with the Glider Network GPS system beaming us down and giving you the information you've got on the screen from the Silent Wings 3D virtual reality system. Look at it, it's neck and neck. Can we get side on? Can we see from the side or from above? It looks like German Dirk Windmuller is just slightly in front by half a glider's length against Gintas Zub. So passing the overhead mark now, the center of the track, heading down to that second turn. It's gonna be into the turn. Dirk Windmuller's been flying for 25 years in the glider championships. He had a break of competition for a few years, a little while back, but he's back in the championships now. Gintas Zub, he's a Ryanair pilot, flying 737s. Was based out of Stansted, now based out of Lithuania. We were talking about the Ryanair flights the other night. We were having a good laugh about that. That was good fun. But it looks like just teasing slightly ahead could be Dirk Windmuller from Germany in this last race of the first race of these championships. Still to come, the semi-final and then the final of this parallel race side by side. We are live from Shermanoff at Wrocław for the 4th day of the FAI Sailplane Championships, but we can't bring you the normal sailplane task of the day because we've got big storms heading our way from the Czech Republic, which you can see just looking at the studio now. The sky is building up and the clouds are building up. Taking the lead here now on this penultimate turn, Germany, Dirk Windmiller heading back down the straight, but coming up from behind, Gintas Zub. Now Gintas at 480 meters above the ground. Dirk Windmiller 460 meters above the ground. Gintas 260 kilometers an hour. Dirk Windmiller 218 kilometers an hour. And Gintas is coming up and taking the lead. This is the shock, but fighting back is Dirk Windmiller. It's neck and neck as we find ourselves heading down to that final turn of this race. 18 kilometers, roughly about 6 minutes per race. And it's Gintas slightly in the lead as we're passing overhead at 300 meters, about 1,000 feet through the center point. Dirk Windmiller, Whiskey India November against Alfa Romeo, fighting down to that final turn. Germany have got the lead on Lithuania. Germany against Lithuania by 2 lengths of a glider. One more turn to go and then a dash for the finish line, roughly about 300 meters above the ground. So there's a bit of room there to attack. Obviously, as you dive down, you're going to increase your speed. So that's a tactic to use now. And it looks like Germany have took the lead yet again. Are we getting the full-on view there from above? Not yet. Germany are back in the lead. It's Germany in front of Lithuania by 1 length of a glider as we head to this final turn. Dirk Windmiller takes the lead. Gintas Zub just slightly behind, but this turn could be the caller, could be the change, could turn it all round from the 737 pilot. Going to bank hard to chase Germany. It's Germany against Lithuania as we bank. And now the turn is on, accelerating down to the finish line. Less than 2 kilometers to go. It's Germany in front of Lithuania. Lithuania pulling up hard now behind, racing. He's got the speed advantage. 230 kilometers an hour for Germany, 250 kilometers now for Gintas. As he left it too late, he's got the speed advantage, but he's only got a few hundred meters to go. Germany have got the lead in front of Lithuania, heading to the finish line. Let's get above and see this final bit of action. Here we go. It looks like it's going to be Germany in front of Lithuania taking the win. It is Dirk Windmiller from Germany. Call sign Whiskey India November takes the lead, and coming through at the final, Gintas Zub, Lithuania. What a race. We have our semi-finalists, and we'll be back with the action on that in the next 2 minutes. FAI Sailplane Grand Prix. Alright, welcome back to the studio here in Shermanoff. So the race, we've got the storms, we know what it was like this morning. Marek, race director, has joined us in the studio. on what has been an incredible day of action with storms and rain and blue skies, and then what was, we thought, going to be a short task of 105 kilometers and 200 meters turned into an episode of the elements and everybody heading back home. So from us here in the studio, Arthur and me, on this third day of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix, it's a wrap for today, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Good night. And welcome back to the studio here in Shermanoff. What a great morning of action this has been. We can't bring you the fourth day of the FAI Sailplane Championships because of the weather. We can't set a task to get those 400 kilometers out for you with those hours and hours of racing. We have got big storms approaching from the Czech Republic, and they're getting closer and closer as we speak. So we decided in the pilot briefing at 10 a.m. that we're going to go with the format that was first trialled at the World Air Games in Dubai in 2015, the side-by-side parallel racing. When they did it in Dubai, it was 24 kilometers. They set off, they turn, they come back, and they head for a finish line. Here, we're doing an 18-kilometer race, so they get side-by-side up at 600 meters, give each other the thumbs up, and decide to start the race, head off down, through the first turn, head off back to the second turn, head off back to the first turn again, and then through the finish. We've just had 4 races, and we've got a championships on our hands. Semi-final still to come to find out who goes through into the final. Through to the semi-final, Poland and Sebastian Carver, Papa. Through to the final, we have Golf Oscar Lima from Poland, that's Adam. Through to the final, we have Oscar Golf from Germany, and through to the final, we have Whiskey India November, Dirk Windmiller as well. He's through to the semi-final, should I say. At the moment, we're checking the conditions and finding out if it's safe to get everybody back in the air for these semi-final races. We've got all the officials now and the meteorologist having a look and just making sure that we are safe to go. As soon as we have that information, we'll be back with the live stream here and the commentary from the studio from me, Rig and Tetlow. But from now, it's a little break for us, and we'll be back with the action as soon as it's happening. Thank you very much. See you soon. A very good morning. It's day 4 of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix here at Shermanoff at Wrocław. I'm here, world champion Sebastian Carver. What's happening?
Hi. We have cancelled the day due to the bad weather coming. On the satellite pictures we have already thunderstorms on the border with Czech Republic and Germany, and the model confirms that this is the situation it has predicted, and the thunderstorm should be here at about 2 p.m. So we basically don't have enough time to make a proper task. Even more, at this moment you will not find any thermals. So the thermals will start, and immediately after this we will have maybe 1 hour later a thunderstorm. It's just not enough time to make a proper task. So in exchange, we will have some sort of a game. We will copy the event from Dubai, from World Air Games, and we will make match races, which are basically one-on-one races and a very short task, 18 kilometers task. We will start at 600 meters, so it will give enough energy for these gliders to complete it, and the winner will go and will complete it semi-finals and then in finals.
Right, so it's a knockout situation, and you've actually competed in this. It's parallel racing, is it?
Yes, it's parallel racing, and it was designed especially for Dubai because we had very limited space there, and it turned out to be very successful and very spectacular race. So I would like to see this kind of races over the shore in Dubai, because we had a fantastic skyline of skyscrapers there, and it would be very nice show, but unfortunately we had a place for this in the desert. Not many people were to see it, but on the internet you could follow the race as well.
Right, and how long do we think each race will last?
It'll be around 6 minutes, maybe less, because in this moment, if there is one thermal on the way that they can just use energy and going straight, it will accelerate these gliders to above 200 kilometers an hour. Wow. And so 18 kilometers, it should be around 6 minutes, maybe 5 minutes.
Wow, we look forward to that. It's going to be live on the live stream with full analysis and commentary here from Shermanoff. Sebastian Carver, I'm sure you need to get ready. Thank you very much.
We will probably start in about 20 to 30 minutes.
Wow, that is quick.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. pulling away now. This is it. We're into the final few seconds of this race. It has been a sprint, like we said, like Magic said, 100-meter sprint for the final. 2:9:29, Herman Luckner on 164 meters above the ground with a speed of 165 kilometers an hour, powering forward. But on the fight back, here comes world champion Sebastian Carver now passing by from the Wujik. It's Luckner against Sebastian Carver for the final, but it looks like it's going to be Hermann Lucknick from Germany now firing down, half a kilometre to go, 165 kilometres an hour. Sebastian Carver, world champions, left it too late, only 0.1 of a kilometre to go. There comes the big red banner. The virtual finish line is almost in the sights. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hermann Luckner from Germany has finished, and he is through and takes the win here in the second day of the Sailplane Grand Prix live from Wrocław. What an incredible final race and final few kilometres that was, Magic. And a warm welcome back to the studio here in Shermanoff for the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix. It is day 4. We can't bring you the main action, the main task, the main race, because we do have some tricky conditions afoot. We can actually have a look now at the storm that's developing out there behind us, coming our way from the Czech Republic, and it's due to be here in the next hour or so. It's going to be a big downpour, so we're told. So what we decided to do this morning at the lead briefing, the team briefing at 10 a.m. was to go with a different format for today. The format that was originally trialled in 2015 at the World Air Games in Dubai, and it's parallel racing, 2 gliders side by side racing against each other on a very short circuit. At these speeds, over 200 kilometers an hour, they're whizzing through these 18 kilometers in about 6 minutes time. In the Dubai Championships, it was 24 kilometers. That's the length of track that we're doing. Here, just 18 kilometers is the track side. We've had 4 races already this morning. We had Sebastian Carver going against 2-9er. We had Golf Oscar Lima going against Delta Tango. We had Alfa Romeo going against Whiskey India November. And we had 2-9er Lima against Oscar Golf. Papa took his race. Golf Oscar Lima took his race. And Whiskey India November took his. And Oscar Golf took that one. What we're trying to do now is get another race together. We are against the elements though, and just joining me in the studio, let's just get him in the studio actually with me now, is race director Marek, who's got some information. He's trying to show me off camera, but it was a bit too difficult to see. Welcome to the studio, Marek.
Hi.
What did you think of those first races?
The races was really amazing, and that was fantastic morning for the competitors. I hope for spectators as well.
I hope so. So what's happening now? Have we got another race about to go?
We have passed 4 races, which you described the seconds ago. Right now we have another race, and this is Zulu Bravo against Golf Oscar Lima, because Papa has to refuel. And few kilometers from the airfield we have a really huge thunderstorm.
Right.
So Papa Lima decided to take a break. He will wait for next race.
Yes.
But in the meantime, Zulu Bravo asked for possibility to race against Golf Oscar Lima, and Golf Oscar Lima took this advantage, and they was just 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago, airborne.
Good. So what that means is now this is not in the championships that we started this morning. This is something completely different. We're doing a separate race altogether. So listen, here's what we'll do. We'll bring you the action of that in a few moments once we've got both of these gliders in the sky. But for a minute in the studio, we'll be back live with you in about 2 minutes time.
Yeah.
And welcome back to the action. We've got an unscheduled race against us. Now we've got Jiho Bedachuk from here in Poland racing against Adam Lechewski from Golf Oscar Lima. This is an unscheduled race, just doing it now because the weather really is against us. 18 kilometers, about 6 minutes, and we're already past the first turn point. So you can see Golf Oscar Lima, Adam Lechewski, who won his race this morning, is now against his teammate Zulu Bravo, Jiho Benachuk, and it is neck and neck as they're about to go overhead. So this is not anything to do with the knockout championships we started this morning. It's just an extra race, and it looks like Jiho has took an early lead. As we saw earlier, down the straight, it's more or less neck and neck. Let's have a look what's going on. We'll just get both details on the screen. There we go. We've got Golf Oscar Lima at 530 meters above the ground, and Jiho's at 570. He's got a bit of a height advantage. Heading down now to the second turn. It is Jadzisław in the lead against Adam by about a glider length. Jiho Benachuk, Poland, racing against Adam Chudeski from Poland as well. They've filled up the wings with water, giving them extra weight, extra balance, and here we are heading to that second turn of the championships. Welcome if you just joined us on the live stream to the world. You can see all the action, and we've got people watching on Instagram as well, having a look behind the scenes here in the studio. Very good morning or afternoon to you, wherever you may be. Into the second turn, in the lead, Jiho is about a glider length in front, and he's about to make his turn, which will take him back for the last turn of this race. Only 18 kilometers. First trialled at the World Air Games in Dubai in 2015. It's parallel, side-by-side glider racing, towed up to the sky to 600 meters, about 1,200 feet, released. They form eight on each other, get side-by-side, give the thumbs up, pass the start line, and begin this dash for glory. And taking a good turn and a lead here now in the second leg of that race is Zulu Bravo. Jiho Benachuk is in front of Golf Oscar Lima. And Golf Oscar Lima, Adam took his win in his first race. So he wants to prove that he's got the skills to beat his home teammate now. But it's fast over the middle of the airfield above us right now, above the studio, 240 kilometers an hour. Is Jiho Benachuk taking the lead, a strong lead now. He's pulling ahead. He obviously got a strong turn as he flies down to the east, getting ready for that next turn point, the final turn point of this race, pulling further in front now. Let's see distance to the turn, if we possibly can, just to let you know what distance he has actually pulled ahead. Distance to the turn, he's almost there at it, so it's probably not even relevant now as he makes that turn with less than half a kilometer to go before he makes the turn. It is Jiho Benachuk in front of Adam Chudeski. Poland versus Poland. Final turn for the final dash for the finish line here in this brilliant day, this stormy day here in Shermanov for the Wrocław FAI Sailplane Championships Day 4. We can't bring you the full race, but what we can bring you is this final dash for the line. Here we go, less than 3 kilometers to finish this race. We're going to find out who is currently in the lead. They've just done the turn, bringing back the signals. We just lost the signals slightly there from the GPS units. Here they are, the signals are back. Not quite on the screen, zooming out, here we go. It is, just lost the signal now of Adam, but we're just waiting for his signal to return, so we can't tell you exactly right now who is in the lead, but it looks like it is Jiho Benachuk who's going to take this lead. We haven't got the signal currently from Adam Chudeski, but carving now to a left-hand turn, diving for the finish line. It is, and both signals are back. I can tell you it is Jadzisław Benachuk in the lead by 2 gliders length from Adam Chudeski, diving to the line. They're going to converge on each other here. It's neck and neck as we get through into this final. Here we go, through the finish line. It is Jadzisław Benachuk takes the win from Adam Chudeski. Golf Oscar Lima, we think we'll get confirmation of that. We lost the signal slightly. It did look like he took the win, but we'll find out very shortly indeed. We'll be back in the studio with the confirmation of that win for you very, very shortly. From us all here in Shermanov. We'll see you soon. So you can see there a great picture of that storm which is building up just off the airfield. It's about to be here now. Welcome to the studio here in Shermanoff. We've just had a race there for fun with Golf Oscar Lima against Zulu Bravo, and the controversy is that it was won by Golf Oscar Lima. Adam took that race. We were racing this morning on this short circuit. We can't bring you a full task of the day, but it is day 4 here live in Poland with the FAI Sailplane Championships. We're going to take a break with the live stream and we'll be back a little bit later with more information about whether we have more races for you, all depending, of course, as always, on the weather. From the studio here in Shermanoff, we'll see you later. Of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix. Alright, welcome back to the studio here in Shermanoff. So the race, we've got the storms, we know what it was like this morning. Marek, race director, has joined us in the studio. On what has been an incredible day of action with storms and rain and blue skies, and then what was, we thought, going to be a short task of 105 kilometers and 200 meters turned into an episode of the elements and everybody heading back home. So from us here in the studio, Arthur and me, on this 3rd day of the FAI Sailplane Grand Prix, it's a wrap for today, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Good night.